for more about POG Media, so POG. Message so you new POG Media, so and also you new POG a platform, so I over subscribe na like na over share Media, so na offer for answer, and so it's me aka na among the ecoso or Ghana. Your political highway, so now your boy and money, boy, I actually mafias no a year or makachi ye bora a ye Bědiatu0 a yen health issues on and sem na I sema I ana say latest a update a free a waba HSA and ne ana say like GDA a womb say a ye Bědiatu0 besa afa a ye na pomudin back no a camia ko say sajidi no is we nam so much mafias no a ka a ma bro sisi ano hwehweska seriously e dey akose eye Bědiatu0 ayarehwe ne mu ye mura zansem ni nkoti mu yi medase.
Now the latest about Nana Asante Bědiatu0 up next. The very informational ekura sisi ano kyerese Nana Asante Bědiatu0 is not getting well anytime soon, as I made this information known to you on Monday. And tonight, midweek, our intelligence report and our canary bird monitoring the space around Bědiatu0 also suggests that Nana Asante Bědiatu0 is not getting well anytime soon. Our intelligence is asking us to tell Ghanaians, more prayers for Nana Asante Bědiatu0 to get well. Why? Because top medical experts in the United States have been called upon. I repeat, top medical experts in the United States have been called upon to take care of Nana Asante Bědiatu0. But it still doesn't, or as it were, seem not that Nana Asante Bědiatu0 is getting well anytime soon. Even though the government of Akuffo has sunk considerable huge sums of money into the United States health sector for Nana Asante Bědiatu0 to be taken care of. But Nana Asante Bědiatu0 isn't getting well anytime soon. And it still may not look like Nana Asante Bědiatu0 may join President Addo Akuffo in the 52 more days left to go to the polls. What it means is that Nana Asante Bědiatu0, who is the secretary to the cabinet, if Akuffo is exiting the office, one very fundamental role for Nana Asante Bědiatu0 is to sit to gather all the documents, sign everything, including said Nana Asante Bědiatu0 must stand in for Akuffo and do what is called the traditional exit plan and hand over to the next government. We call it a transition. Nana Asante Bědiatu0 may not, cannot, and will not be able to commission this, get this job done. It is so possible that somebody would have to come and do that job. Yes, it means Nana Asante Bědiatu0 is not getting well. Now, the last message to our intelligence report, I don't want to say it tonight. I'm sorry. I cannot say it. My angel said Friday, yeba, yebit me the abetoho, I'm a Ghana for. So, in concluding on Nana Asante Bědiatu0's health status, I call on Ghanaians here and around the world, sympathizers, friends and loved ones. Moi, obo munya contract ni ade, momompa emfema pape. Ni enhwe se di besiko. But may I say sika akọ pape na ya rehwem britia kakrenye sika ketwa. But he's still not getting that well. So, the transition so between Akuffo and Akuffo handing over to the next government, that transitional process may not, cannot, and will not be commissioned by Nana Asante Bědiatu0. Sad indeed. I'm sorry. Folks, and some will see, Bibi will see you. Yeah. Ete onipa uwo wiase a woni muhomuhu munini ye. So ye wunua, so ye wadamfo, so ye wodien muni muhomuhu. Bible akampo ato se muni muhomuhu enini ye. Yes ah. Wonya koda na odanti. Basa kaka binsem we. Sa mini hwan. Do you know me? Do you know who I am? Ni sa nyoma neme bebre mumfa nkosi hwe. Folks, asam kese da ho. Onyame adoma e bia Friday. Possibility that it may be Friday. If then I have to break the news and break it, we'll break it. Nana Santibidi to report na mdisi hama. So folks, now let's come to the Japadia document. Tonight we start the document from the national situation as regards the media landscape. Afi yadimu kowura adia wono peso omo ye ewo media nimo and some trade union omo say den. Now shall we? The media has remained a veritable weapon in shaping public opinion and agenda setting strategy. We therefore have to wage an even more valiant war in pursuit of our grand scheme to capture and dominate the media landscape, if our overriding ambition to be realized. In this regard, we have to adopt a multi-pronged approach while making sure that the critical mass of the nation will not connect the rapid media capture with us. Nayemra, phase 1, we envisage that the role of Kojo upon Nkrumah, the role of Kojo upon Nkrumah, K1, would continue to be the crucial in our quest to dominate the Ghanaian media landscape. He was super when planted around some big weights of the ex-Mills Mahama government, while at Joy FM, his secret recordings from the then ruling government illuminated our discussions and greatly influenced our strategy, which culminated in the landslide victory of 2016. Atija, the omopache nyane se afi ohwe media no ensem trade dwuma na eye bia wobetimi ayusu na wode di ense wode ayusu ho e de ensem ye pie masa ansem ni nipa gi watomu enti se ne sade a ene omomo ho modin bia se wono betimi akura media no no mo de media na ye te se de ben e wo mo puma ne nipa na e wo media no wo metimi capture dodo no a na we no wono mo ba na mo se owura bi te se opon Nkrumah wono mo be use no enti opon Nkrumah no mo be use no mo use no kwan ben so wono mo plante opon Nkrumah e wo Mills Mahama abanim empenifo bia na wono mo NDC mu a wo mo kura nim se at the time wa Kojo upon Nkrumah no ye adwuma e wo multimedia Joy FM. He was the host of multimedia super morning show and the Kojo Yankson any minua Vincent Amwa any Vincent what's his name and wo host show no Kojo upon Nkrumah in the year 2016 on no host at the time upon Nkrumah show Joy FM munya sana MPP4 use upon Nkrumah a plant no edna kwose NDC mpinifo ma wo mama ne secret recordings a upon Nkrumah recordings a mpinifo na enum kasa ewuranom nti enye wonwo se enne upon Nkrumah yede ofuase ayirebi constituency yede beda na se na minim se sana upon Nkrumah e ba be a member of parliament mahu de etuem great yankwe now I say no wonder that Gabi made every effort for the young man to be promoted to the office of a substantive information minister. This is more so when we cannot vouch for the credibility and loyalty of Dr. Mustafa Hamid. At crucial times, Mustafa was the longest serving spokesperson of Nana, but we were shocked when Nana caught him stealing campaign cash in such critical opposition era where we were suffocating from inadequate resources to prosecute the campaign. Hey, also it is now obvious that Mr. Nkrumah has an ultimate presidential ambition, we have a fiduciary duty to protect him and to assure him of our support for the future. The support would get him to commit to the media capture agenda. It is satisfying that he has been part of our manifesto drafting from 2012 till date. In the next government, 2021-2024, Ghana Futiha, or say in the next government, 2021-2024, which is now, Gabi has already convinced Nana to move Kojo Oppong Nkrumah to the communications ministry to continue the clampdown on the opposition, as well as the not too friendly radio and television stations. He is already excited about this promise. On 2 grounds, he would be deemed to remain one of the loyalists for the future. Secondly, that ministry has one of the richest, hence a conduit for him to increase his personal financial muscles for his presidential ambitions. Ghana for me. Afi di omo kire wa hane se ora Oppong Nkrumah ekowie se Gabi Asario se sare ochidako mu promote Oppong Nkrumah Add0 Minister of Information. So what it means is that Oppong Nkrumah ko share information na wo ni senti. Why? Ni senti because one more person Oppong Nkrumah enye tumi bi ni nyinaso se be ya obetimi control the media airspace and the media landscape. Afi media, radio, television, newspapers are woman friendly to NPP no. Enya o agenda no. Afi Oppong Nkrumah be control some media stations ni na. Na wetimi root some media houses ni a edo o mai den aba wo mo kam na o use o mo do o mai adwuma. Eranam wo hwe table na that screen is na. Sa table we na e arrangement we man kan ya Ghana for munim. Ni na e o agenda. O mo se den media consummation in Ghana. Kwan ya mo fa so this radio stations in afaso. Huye. Ene afi document ni che say afi o meyi Oppong Nkrumah Add0 Minister of Communication di enti aho ne sika wo esan se Oppong Nkrumah so wo adwen bi se wo mususu se wo no mo dwen se ese so mo di Oppong Nkrumah esi akwantempo bi so a daachen oba be president oba be di MPP fo nenim yanko enim. Now Oppong Nkrumah Kojo Oppong Nkrumah and journalists or say while our team aims at total dominance of the media architecture in the nearest future, there is a need to have a generally good appeal in the media. To this end, we have observed that the discourse
messages on like here or be like here and I say on subscribe so I'll drop your subscription now. What J0b no for France so etimi aka na wate nsema ekoso ewo daily political highway ne so na 18 nsema na say yiwura na Addo dan kwa ede J0b bi she Bědiatu0 nsa enka ohwe no anim se enka obetimi ya complete adwuma no before say obe free office no M0ney as in team yi pa me say
in the media has been generally fruitful. This has not happened by accident. K.Ofori Kojo Oppong Nkrumah has successfully recruited about 80% of top journalists, including some with adversarial tendencies towards us. Kojo Oppong Nkrumah has successfully recruited about 80% of top journalists, including some with adversarial tendencies towards us. His weekly covert meetings, his weekly covert meetings with them to plan the use of the week have been exceedingly impactful. And you Afia babu baba minchire mu ha ansa na mababu dino. Wo mo say ebra won mo twen say wo mbenya complete dominance in the media airspace no. Oppong Nkrumah aye adwuma papa. Na fi Oppong Nkrumah so tumi abomoden enya media fo a wo mo ponya sympathizers to NPP a wo mo ye NPP for adversarial. Up to about 80% of journalists for abeka MPP ho. Manos mi kwekwa mete. Yes. Mahu dwuma upon Nkrumah ADA. Into upon Nkrumah dwuma oye nana, he is on a mission. Now, afi, wɔn say dwuma upon Nkrumah ye no, ni secret meetings upon Nkrumah any journalists for ne kon ni na are very successful. Into upon Nkrumah ne journalists for bi ekonna ekrana anadwe so mu wɔn na those ebribi make catch me say the night is busier than the day. When we dwuma upon Nkrumah edi ho and why ye say tam meanwhile no a journalist not multimedia Kwesitrum station ho. What the Kwesitrum station no at the bobra boni bi obetimi aye at the ma NPP and that ho. Afiyemra the roles of wine afiye bebubodin journalists for ben and upon Nkrumah etimi aye den esecure mo. Number 1, the roles of Kwaku Bako, editor-in-chief, Abdul-Malik Kwaku Bako, editor-in-chief of the New Crusading Guide. No, Dikai. Paul Adom and Ochre Eka Hominuano. Paul Adom Ochre. Hey, I do. Paul Adom Ochre. Kwame Sefa and a kind Esoswa. Kwame Sefa kind. Omina we recruit them. And the moment they enter Kwame Sefa kan ordini kokro ni si ho. Edwuma fon na Kwame Sefa kan ti wonu odie. Mo sori a ensem hu ne nkwase akeka osora na odi nipa bebegu so nu echi mu so odi okoboya betra ho. Wo betra ho a de omo ya ne say image worshiping. Kwame Sefa kan betra ho a na me chairman general na me nkwase akeka any nothing they do that informs this country, that governs this country positive. Wono betra ho a image worshiping. Any nhwehwe mu and obetra ho no ye oni ni host no mgu ono. He is one hell of a journalist who lack credibility, magnanimity and research base, yet okotra Kofi Annan Center no course security whatever course no untimi manifest with the proper journalistic standard. No, e betra kokroko and normally kokroko no a definition of government debe payroll debe platform. Why be no ka obi of multimedia ekosi saying you recruit omuna nyame na make doc and we a journalist now to dia na dua now nim see you recruit come out, issue a press release or rejoinder ni enkai. Obi of multimedia cannot be underestimated. It is for this reason that Nana nearly sacked Kandapa for delaying the release of their monthly allowance of 1 million Ghana cedis. Since the national security budget does not go through normal scrutiny, this group has to be assured of an enhancement of their regular emoluments in our next government on condition that they work hard for our anticipated victory in December. Onyame humu asema mo kan say sa media fo ya mabobo mudini Abdul-Malik Kwaku Bako, Paul Adom Ochre eka ho, Kwame Sefa ena kan, Obi of multimedia ekosi saying 90 saying omo 94.7 womu nyina ye nkrofo ya recruit wom na asema document dey kan say wonu mu beye dwuma aboa wom enti emantawanta obi ba the national security minister ayowura hwan Albert Kan Dapa on the president in term because one way is Sikabia 1 million Ghana cedis yemfema each one of them. Since Sikana yemfema Kandapa and Adrian so better says Kanaso Emma Edintawantawa Eba on the president in term. Folks, and ya some kitwa na menemo kano. And ya asam kitwa and a menemo yaden e kan wahano folks. Yankupon hu nipa mobo. Yankupon hu nipa mobo. Now yemre. Hey. Afi yemra Osla Owusu on closure of opposition media. Mami Osla Owusu di epie. Enti unim sa asema me kenye ne kra. Mami Osla Owusu bra. Fi rejoinder bra. Ose we score Osla Owusu 70% for her execution. What it? Omo ma Osla Owusu max. We score Osla Owusu 70% of her execution of the agenda. Today, close down pro-NDC radio and television stations. As we see an here. Bibisamo. When we say Moton Adaho, who say you can't move dating, but say, Oslo, Wama Bonabaso, Woman man 70%, so why, yeah, dear sir, or close to NDC Pro radio and television stations. ACNAC, young Cosweb, or say, while we praise her for closing media entities such as 1. Radio XYZ, Capital Radio, Muntia FM, and many more, she scores some low marks in the implementation of the strategy. We expected her to leave Radio Gold. We expected her to leave Radio Gold from the list for obvious tactical reasons. She could have waived their debt like she has done for our friendly stations such as Ash FM in Kumasi. She could have been fired for the avoidable backlash in strategy, but for her long-standing roles as Nana protege. What? Wo nipa bonisem. Wo nipa bonisem. Mami oslo usu o ma bonabaso man 70%. Di entia e sense obon hu modern na o close stations ahudo bebria won mo ya affiliated to NDC. No mo man warning say station bi ti say Radio Gold ma on close di enti because so no Radio Gold obey on bibi kra na e kanwa Radio Gold for ne de no e na nche ohwe mo muntu aka na wan hwe ne sa enti nipre e ba oslo usu a chomu ba be yi nedi. Hey, mutrimu odin say na Ghana for me bisamo. Radio stations here, boy, you close here and you close here, you close in now. So, would you therefore say that this document is fiction? Afit here. Na senti o muja mo oslo usunya no hudi e ne kire say oyenana protege. And one more. Now phase 2 of media control. 2018 to 2020. I'm say Joy 99.5. Joy 99.5 and others. Joy 99.5. I'm say there is no doubt that Joy 99.7 FM and the multimedia group will remain an industry leaders in the communication sphere of the country, while relying on them as a veritable ally. Anti-NPP agenda by some of their staff does not portend well for us. We were left with no choice but to what? Have used our quote boys unquote to threaten Manasseh Azure Awune, while his publications in the past inured to our political benefit. He has overstretched himself in this attempt to assume an air of neutrality. He was influential to our historic victory, but his constant attacks on government culminating into the quote militia unquote documentary was most unfortunate. A few as single radio station Joy 99.7 FM say Joy for and one siki alliance bi na woman say Joy for person alliance ne be koso it is alliance no money Joy for ne ko no maso a and ye na tell say one be use omo boys na e wo multimedia on and oma ye say adwuma no abrante bi ti say Manasseh Azure one mo ne ye adwuma duru ba bi na eduru ba bi na say Manasseh empese on edwuma no obeye obetre ne ho aye na mom publications bia wo mo de man ma ne ye no sa publication eboa mo papa enti bebe eduru no e so mo fix Manasseh Azure hey chese enkrofo no de tire se wo mo no koye edwuma kra no oboa wo eduru ba bia o mo take care of you hwe kwan o mo de Canada Japan o mo de na faso hwe kwan o mo de John Boadu e faso hwe kwan o mo de Samia Oku e faso hwe kwan o mo de Omawura Nana Boache e faso and the list goes on and on and on. Afiyemra, elaborate support to our friendly media. Lessons born out of the Manasseh debacle cannot be glossed over. It proved that we cannot over-rely on a seemingly friendly media to take total control of the communication space in the country. The NCA waivers we offered the Kane City Media and other party affiliates over their license must continue. In 2021, Kojo Opon Akroma would present a comprehensive list of other radio stations that must be recruited into this fold. We have to ensure receipts covering the next 10 years as being payments of post-paid renewals. Professor Addo has already received instructions from Nana to give tax waivers to the media entities that would be submitted to him. Kojo Opon Akroma is already making sure that about 90% of government advertisement go to the pro-NPP media. Same must be replicated in our next government. These lofty gestures would ensure that our
Medasi Soldier Penny and RJ Edema POG Media saying for a daily political update bra wabubuano. Messages on subscribe or subscribe. Now I drop the notification icon no say there updates be also ba on submit me account. No like it. Now I share now for so inside to me I can be that's all in some kind be as well or be share the comment section or POG man say be kind na yamao emwaye. Medasi Soldier my POG.